Hi, Patreon. How are you guys? I have to share a story with you because my day was just too damn epic not to tell somebody. There's a cave over there. That's where I just came from. Pretty cool. So today I hung out with that couple from one adventure at a time. I met them at the El Campo meetup. They're new YouTubers and fairly new van lifers. So I met up with them today. We made a video this morning. Then that video was done. So I made 2 videos today, had a nap, then started filming again. And I found this little place called Salmon River, something like that. Found it on the map. I'm like, I want to go there. I didn't know it was inside of like a pay to get into park. So I'm like, I want to go there. So I zoomed in. I found a road that goes right to it. Followed the road all the way up. Popped in the road up top here. Turns out it's a dirt road. We all know I like myself some dirt roads. So we started cruising down the dirt road. Then it got really bumpy. Then I put my van through stuff that I've never put my van through. It was so much fun. Like just like crawling down the rocks and stuff like that. I had a blast. Like it wasn't that bad. Like the van, it rocked back and forth. So Andy, by the way, your cabinets held up. My dressers in the back, the cabinets I have in the back of my van from my old build. Oh yeah, man, the drawers were all hanging out of it, but not Andy's cabinet. Those things stayed totally shut. Pretty cool. So anyway, I get down this road and it's like brutal. Like the trees are grown over, they're pushing against the side of the van. And I get down there and there's a gate and there's no way for me to turn around. Like there's no way I could have backed out. There's no way for me to turn around. And I go to the gate, I get out and I look at it and the lock's on it, but it wasn't locked. So I undid the hook, unraveled the chain, went through the gate, locked the chain back up again, just put the hook back on it and drove like 20 feet down from the gate into some guy's property. And then there's a gate right at the edge of his property. I'm like, oh shit. And I think it's a part of the park or something. Anyway, long story short, the guy was outside. I'm like, hey man, and he's like, hey, waved at me like I'm supposed to be there. Like he didn't react to me at all. I'm like, hey, and he's like, hey, and he continued to walk past. I'm like, excuse me. He's like, yeah. I'm like, how do you get out of here? And he's like, oh, he goes, is that gate open? I'm like, yeah. He goes, oh, the gate shouldn't be open. It should be locked. I'm like, no, chain was around it, but it wasn't locked. He's like, He goes, they've been doing some hydro work up there and sometimes the guys don't lock the gate. I'm like, well, they didn't this time. Thankfully they didn't because it allowed me to get down this far. So then he asked me, he goes, how'd you find this place? I'm like, well, I just looked at my map and I wanted to get down to the Salmon River thing. So I followed that road. He's like, you ain't the first one. I'm like, really? He's like, a couple years ago or last year, whatever it was, he goes, we had an RV come down there. I'm like, what? An RV down that road? He's like, oh yeah. He goes, they were, and the RV was trailering a little LeBaron car behind it. He goes, they even had to unlatch the LeBaron at sometimes. I'm like, a LeBaron drove down behind it. He goes, yeah, they had to detach it because they had the hard time getting the RV and the LeBaron down. And I'm like, no way. When you see the video, you're going to be like, what? An RV drove down that? So, yeah, long story short, he opens up his gate. He's like, look, the park closed at 5 o'clock. It's 5:30. He goes, you got 30 minutes to get to that gate because they come back to the gate at 6 o'clock just in case any stragglers didn't get out. So I'm like, awesome. So I popped out of his thing. I turned to the left and I went ripping through the park and it was a beautiful park. And yes, I got lots of footage, but it felt kind of weird to be the only people in the park. It's closed. It was cool. So I get down to the far end of the park and boom, there's a gate. Okay, the gates are locked, no big deal. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna wait till 6 o'clock. I'm gonna wait till like 15, 20 after just in case somebody shows. I get down to the other end of the park. Nobody came. I'm like, do I stay in the park or do I be a nice guy and drive down to the other end and see if there's somebody at that gate, or maybe I pass a parks guy somewhere in between. So I went ripping through the park. Beautiful. Got to the other gate. Oh, and there's the gate with the sign on it that says back at 6 p.m. Don't worry, you're not locked in. We'll be back at 6 p.m. to let you out. Well, I got locked in. locked in the park. I'm like, so do I stay in the park or do I call the phone number that's on the gate? It said, don't worry, if you are in here after 6 p.m., call this number, we'll come let you out. So I phoned the lady on the phone. She's like, didn't you get the piece of paper when you came in that says we close at 5, not 6:45? Because that's when I called her, 6:45. And I'm like, well, here's kind of what happened. She's like, there's a road that comes down there? I'm like, yeah, into your park, to a person that lives in the park, I guess, because their gate comes into the park. That's how they get home. And she's like, oh, I think that might be a campground. And I didn't see a sign that said campground, because if it was, I would have said, yo, dude, can I just stay here? So long story. A guy named Tom came down, let me in the gate, explained my whole story to him because he was confused on how I got into the park without paying. It was pretty funny. And all I gotta say is the lady on the phone, she apologized when she called me back for the experience I had inside the park. I'm like, don't apologize. I had a blast today, like time of my life blast. She's like, well, I know, but you entered the park in kind of a weird way, and I don't want you to have a tainted view on New Brunswick because of the roads are a bit weird around here. I'm like, no, don't worry about it. Super sweet, super friendly. And when the Tom guy came, nice guy, he was like, so I'm confused. The Cindy lady on the phone explained your story. How did you get in here? He was confused too. So I told him and I explained the road. I'm like, you guys might want to put a sign at the top of the road, like an official park sign that says, do not go down the road past this point because there is no way to turn around. It's a gate and it enters this park of New Brunswick. So that was my day, guys. And the cool thing is, I got it all on video. Okay, van's right there, Cruz is passed out. We had a very energetic day. We got 2 videos done. That's how epic it was. And yeah, right beside my van there's another van I pulled in just because I wanted to go inside of that cave, which we did, wherever it is, right there. And the guy's like, hey, you're Van City Van Life. They drove here from BC in 4 days. 5 days, 4 days, whatever, man. They drove across the country in 5 days. What can you see driving that quick? Insane. All right, everybody. Thanks for being here on Patreon. I love it that you are here when I get so excited about something that happened in my day, and I can just tell you guys, this is so awesome. One of my favorite parts about Patreon, and that's the truth. When I get excited about something or something happens, that I've got all of you here like my best friends and my bro, because that's what you guys are. You guys are literally my biggest supporters. So I have this little heartstring attached to all of you. All right, everybody. I'm going to go, okay, right over there on that tip. Where is it? Over, hold on. Right there. See that light? That's the lighthouse. That's where I spent the night last night. So that's where we're going to go back and sleep again tonight. All right, everybody. See you later. Oh, the things that happen in van life are just insane sometimes. It's so much fun. All right, let's go say hi to Cruz, because I know you're going to be like, great, thanks for the chat, Chrome. But you suck because we didn't see Cruz. Hey, Mr. Sleepy Boy, let me turn the light on. Oh, where's the other light? Crazy. Say hi to Patreon. Real good. Real, just what they wanted. All right. All right, everyone. See you later.